Hello and welcome back, and now I'm going to be making a stage using the 4 tricks that I showed you about using SketchUp for USPSA stage design. If you didn't see my previous video, I'll make a link to it down in the description below. Okay, so I have a stage that I've kind of sketched up on a scratch piece of paper, just a rough idea of what I want, but a lot of that's going to be moving things around within SketchUp. So let's get into SketchUp and get started. So let's see, I'll move. This is the bay that I'm going to be making it in. First thing I'm going to start with is a couple walls. So I'll click a wall out here, copy it, Command C, and then I'll deselect. I'll click over in the area that I want the wall, like that, and then I will hit Command V to paste it. There it is. And right away I'm just going to click because I don't like that it gives me the move tool right away. So then I'll come back up here, hit this little selector tool, select in the middle of nowhere, and that kind of deselects this wall. Okay. Maybe I'll move this over here. Click it, hit the move tool, and then I'm moving only on the red axis. And then right about there looks good. Go ahead and stop. Click this selector tool, click in the middle of nowhere. Okay, now I'm going to make another one of these walls. I'm going to go ahead and hit paste because I've already copied. Look, there's another wall. Okay, and I'm going to put it like this because I'm going to pivot it. So I'm going to click here, and then I'm going to go to the pivot guy, and I'm going to click this side. Remember, this wall has to be selected for me to do that, and see it's blue. That's what I want. I click the other end, and then I move it, and when I have it where I like it, which is right here, I click again, and it stops, and then I'm going to go click the little selector button, click into nowhere, and now my wall is where I want it. Actually, maybe it's not where I want it. I think I might want to go, yeah, it'll work for now. Okay, now I'm going to go out here and see there's a target over here. I'm going to click that target, copy that, zoom back in, and Command paste the target. Wait for him to show up. There he is. I'm just going to click right away because I want to leave him right about there. Now I'm going to, this arrow up here, you can just hit spacebar and get that arrow at any time. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to click into nowhere to deselect the target. And then I'm going to paste another target right here. Bam. Click to place it. Spacebar. Click to unselect it. I'm going to have 2 more targets inside here. So copy paste, or not copy, just Command V for paste. All right, click, and then spacebar, click the floor. He disappears. So now I'm going to go and do another one. Command paste. There's another one. Click, spacebar, click the floor. Then there we go. Okay, we're going to do 3 more, and I'm just getting them in their rough places right now, and then we're gonna move them around. So I'm gonna do one out here. Command V. There he is. Click. Spacebar. Click nowhere. Now we go Command V here. Click the mouse. Spacebar. Click in the middle of nowhere. We're doing one more down here. Command V. Click. Spacebar. Click in the middle of nowhere. Okay, now I had 2 poppers that I was going to put out here, and I want to make them mini poppers because I'm going to hide them behind barrels. There's a mini popper. I'm going to click it. It's now selected. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to zoom back into my stage. I'm going to go Command V. And it's thinking about it. There it is. Click. Spacebar, click in the middle of nowhere, there he is. I'm going to do another one. Command V, click, spacebar, click in the middle of nowhere. Now we're going to need some barrels here. So I'm just going to do these double stacked barrels. Click that one, copy, bring it in, and let's see, we'll do paste it right there. And click, spacebar, click. Okay, things are super roughly where I want them. Now we'll just go through and place the targets a little bit more exactly where I want them. These two here, I'm thinking the shooter's going to shoot through here. So this one is actually not at a bad angle. So I'm going to select it. I'm going to hit M, which is going to give me this little move tool. I'm going to make sure to move him only on the red axis first. And that's actually kind of how I want it, right about there. Okay, now I'm going to hit spacebar to bring up the selector tool, select the floor, select my next target, hit the M for the move tool. And you could do this up here in the toolbar if you want, but after a while you're just going to want to learn the quick keys. Okay, now I'm going to bring it down on the red axis or green axis only. None of the gray dotted lines, only green or red. Bring it right here, and then I'm going to bring it in. So you see I went green and then red rather than bringing it like diagonally in right where I want it. Oh, see? We got off the axis. Let's go back on there. See, there we go. Red axis. That's what we want. Now, that's not really angled the way that I want it for the guy to shoot it through here. So, let's hit Q, which brings up this thing. It's still selected. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. And I want this to be blue when I select it, so I hit that corner. And then I click this corner. And then I can move this wherever I want to angle. And something like this should be good. And then I'm going to click to stop it. Then I'll hit the space bar, click in the middle of nowhere, and now it's angled how I like it. Now, this guy, let's move him. Click select, M to move. Move in. And right about there. I'm actually going to move him in a little bit more because I'm thinking this guy should be, I'm going to force the shooter to kind of come to the end of that wall to shoot him. Right about there. And hit the space bar, click. Now this guy, let's move him. Select M to move him this way just a little bit. And I'm going to, and then I'll move him this way a little bit more. And I'm going to hit the Q because I'm going to change the angle for him. Q, there's this thing. Click that point, angle it like that. Bam. Click again, space bar, click in the middle of nowhere. Okay? So that's roughly where I want those. One thing is I want the shooter to shoot this guy from the end of this wall. I don't want him to shoot him through here. So I'm going to put a barrel there. Hit that, click the barrel, hit Command C, come over here, click, then hit Command V for pasting, and that's actually a pretty good spot for him right there. Click when I've got it where I like it, hit the space bar, click the floor. Now, and see, this is what's great about SketchUp is that you can really look. You can like walk the stage like you're a shooter and see if there's any angles that you can see that from. Now look, I do have an issue here because I've got to shoot through. There's angles that I can shoot this target from that'll go through the barrel, so that's kind of good to know. So I can get down to that angle that I'm at, select this guy, hit the M tool, move him out. Now I don't have a shoot through anymore. And the other thing that I don't have is if I keep walking the stage like this, the shooter doesn't have the opportunity to break the 180 to aim at that target. Okay, now I do have a problem down here with this guy, so we're going to want to fix that with the barrel, and maybe we can make that the same barrel. Now, maybe I can change that with a wall. So I'm going to click this here, hit the M tool, move him on the green axis only. More this way. Now, you can still kind of, maybe I can move the wall in, click the wall, hit the M tool, move it on the green axis only, and space bar, click in the middle of nowhere. Now is there, see at that point there still is a little spot where you can, I don't like to be able to see a target that I could shoot by breaking the 180. So let's see if we can come in, take this barrel now, and then we'll move that maybe a little bit. I could just put another set of barrels there, but it's nice to not have to set up so many props. Oops, stay on that green axis. Okay, let's try that. Spacebar, M. So see, you can see why it's so nice to have SketchUp where you can look at all these different angles before you actually go set up the stage. So click this, M tool, move this out on the red axis, now maybe a little bit on the green. Okay, now the shooter is going to have to come kind of the end of that wall to shoot that guy. We can't see him. We can't see either target through there. We're not going to break the 180 to shoot at those guys, and we don't have this guy being a shoot through to there anymore. So that's good. That's what we want. We definitely have shoot throughs here, but we're going to move that stuff around. Before I do, let's get these targets where I want them. This guy, I'll change the angle of him first. Click, hit Q, hit this, click that, move it to the angle I want, which is something like this. I was thinking, yeah, like that. Click, hit the space bar, click in the middle of nowhere. The thought was that the shooter would maybe want to, actually I'm going to make more of an angle. Select, Q, click this, oops, click that, angle it more, that, space bar, click in the middle of nowhere. My thought was the shooter would come through here and want to shoot this guy on the move, possibly. And probably these next two targets on the move, maybe, I don't know. See, I'll click that, get the angle I want, click here, remember Q brings up this angler tool. When I get it where I want it, I just click, hit spacebar, click the floor. That's the angle I want there. This guy, I'm going to change that angle. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. Q. Now remember, this always has to be blue. Click that angle. Click this. Angle it more straight. That's what I want there. Now I hit spacebar. Click here. Okay, that's where I want those targets. So like he comes, this is going to be the start position here. He's going to come over, shoot these two, and then start heading back this way. Maybe hit this on the move. Come in here, shoot some stuff here, and then possibly be advancing this way to shoot these guys, because I am going to hide one of these poppers so that he has to come to the end of this wall. So the other thing I want to do is I don't want them to be able to break the 180 and see this target here. So I'm going to put another barrel there. So click that barrel, copy, come here, paste. Oh, come on, barrel. There you are. Oops. And something like that ought to block it. Oops. Too far. Move it on the green axis. That should probably do it. Spacebar, click the arrow, and then let's go look through here and see if it's totally hidden. Yeah, it looks pretty hidden when you move up. You're not going to look back and see a target there. All right, we're going to want to do the same thing to this other target here. Click, copy, click, paste. Come on, there. Right about like that ought to do it. Space bar, click in the middle of nowhere. Now I can't break the 180 and see that target. Now this one, we're not gonna. The fault lines are gonna stop about at the end of the wall, so that's a fine spot for that target. Now I'm going to go ahead and place these last two targets. This guy, I'm going to want him to be shot from here. So click that, hit the Q, click the end here, click this point, pivot him, something like maybe that. Well, more like that. Space bar, click the floor. There he is. Now, you got a shoot through right here, so we don't want that. We're going to move him back probably. So click that, hit the M button. I'm going to move him on the green or the red axis only. Oh, we got off that red axis. Get back on the red axis. There. Maybe I'll move him out on the green a little bit. Out on the green axis. Now this is another thing where it's SketchUp's being awesome again. You got to make sure and look at this angle good to make sure there's no way that when I come through here I'll have a shoot through. Look, I could have a shoot through right there. So I'm gonna maybe move it from this, looking at this angle. So it's selected. I'll hit the move tool with M, and I'm gonna move it out on the red axis until I'm pretty sure that I don't have a shoot through. Oops, red axis. That looks pretty good. Let's see. Hit the space bar. I'm going to look at that angle again, and it still is a little bit of a shoot through right there. Hit the M tool. Move it out so that it's not. Okay, that's how we can have it not be a shoot through. But how does it look from the other position? Let's make sure. Still almost a shoot through. Click again. Move it out. Maybe I should make these big poppers if I'm going to put them really far away. Move it out like that. That's pretty good. Okay. Yep. No shoot through. Okay. Now, where did that put it? Over here. That's not a bad spot for that shooter to shoot it, right through here. A tool I didn't show in my previous video that I sometimes use is this tape measure. Click the tape measure, click here, and come out to here. 21 feet. Well, that's technically, I think, too close for steel. So I'm going to hit escape, go back, hit that button. We're going to maybe want to move him out a little bit more. So I'm going to hit M, and I'll move him this way. And then move them up a little bit too to make it as farther out. That's probably pretty close. Let's make sure I still don't have a shoot through. Lock that angle. No shoot through. Okay, still a good spot to shoot it at the end. But we're going to put a barrel in front because we don't want you to shoot it here. We want you to shoot it at the end. So I'm going to space bar, click in the middle of nowhere to deselect that popper, click the barrel, hit the M, come across on the red axis, and we'll do that again on the red axis until it's totally in the way and you can't see it. Then I'll hit space bar, click, and then I'll lock this section here to make sure that I can't see him there, and I can't. Okay, and at the end, is he still visible at the end? Yep, there he is. Maybe I'll actually make that a little easier to see. I'll hit the M, and I'm going to make sure to move him on. Oh, don't see that blue axis? Stay away from that blue axis. Okay, that way, then back on the green. Maybe on the red again. Space bar, click, double check that angle. Yep, still can't see him. And then I got a nice shot of him right here. Now, I want to do the same thing with this popper. I want to put him on the other side of the barrel so that you can't really see him from this position, but you can see him through here. So, click, M tool, move on the red axis. move on the green axis, move on the red axis, move on the green axis. Oops, where I got off the green axis, get back on there. Let's see how that looks. Spacebar, click. Can you see him from the, oh, let's see, you can still see him from there, from that side. And we're going to want to change the angle first of all, so select him, hit this, click there, change the angle, something more that, there we go, click, spacebar, click, that's a nice angle to shoot him from, and there's no shoot throughs. And the last thing we want to make sure is that I can't see him from there, but I still can, so from this shooting position. So I'm going to click him, hit the M tool, and I'm going to kind of hide him. Oops. Get back there behind that barrel. There. Spacebar. Oops. Still. Oh, something's going on. There we go. Hidden behind the barrel here for sure, but he's not at the best angle there, so click that. Oops. Click that. Click this. Move him out. Spacebar, click. See him from there now. See him from there. Click, move, tool is the M. Hide him on the green axis just a little bit more, maybe out this way on the red. Get back a little bit more on the green. That's a good shot of him there still. And how does he look down here? You can't see him, that's what we want. But you can totally see him here. And you might have the option of getting him from this position, which is cool. Ooh, do we have a shoot through? We have a shoot through. Uh-oh. What are we gonna do? We change the angle of this. Well, let's see. Where's the fault line gonna be? Maybe it won't be a shoot through. Yeah, it won't be a shoot through because that fault line's, move him out just a little bit this way. And then a little bit more of this. Oh, not on the blue axis. No, no, no. You can keep holding it down if it starts to move on the blue axis. Because it will always, you can, as long as you don't release it. If you release it, he'll be in the air. So there's a red axis. I'm going to release it right there. And actually, I'm going to change my angle of viewing because that will, I don't know, I guess that's an alright spot for him. Come out here and you got to kind of angle to shoot that. You can shoot this too if you want. I like that. Let's call that pretty well good. Now let's just lay down some fault lines, which is usually the last thing I do. There's a fault line, 8-footer, copy. Actually, let's not do that. Let's do a 4-footer. Click the 4-footer, copy, bring it over here, paste. Probably do something like that. Maybe even back farther. Let's do it here. That's good. And then space bar, click into nowhere. We'll do one up front. Click here and we'll go Command V. I'm gonna put it right about there. Click space bar, click into nowhere. Actually, no, I do need to select that. And then I will hit Q. Click there, click here, move it out. Click, space bar, click. again. M tool. Oops, now we're all over the place. I'm going to end up with a floating. I click that and I'm going to hit Z because I don't want to end up with that thing floating in the middle of nowhere. Okay, I'm going to bring this over. The red. Bring it down on the green. Spacebar, click. There we go. We'll do, actually just select that. Copy. Paste. Put one here. Fault line, oops. Click that there. And I'm going to slide it in on the green axis. Spacebar, click. Let's see. We'll just take this, select, and then I'll hold down Shift and click that and that. Hit M, and I'll move the whole thing in like that, so this fault line's there. Spacebar, click the floor. All right, there's our fault lines. We're going to do, there's one of these. Click that, copy, paste. Stick that right about there. Spacebar, click the floor. We'll do another one. We'll do paste. We'll butt it right up. Click, spacebar, click the floor. We're going to do one more here. We're going to go paste. We're going to click that right there. Hit click. Spacebar. Bring her around. Click. Spacebar, click the floor. Click this thing again. M for move tool. Move it on the red axis right to there. And then let's see what we need to fill in this space. Looks like the space bar, click the floor, click this thing, copy, paste. Oh, look at that. Got a little space issue here. Oops, come on. It really wants to be at the end of that. Click. Click the floor, and then let's just click these two. Oh, hold Shift to click them to add. Hit the move tool, move them in right about there. Spacebar, click. Let's do this. Take this, click that. Click this, or Shift to click that. Hit M, and then we'll just move that to there. And then spacebar, click the floor. And that's a stage, all done, okay? Now, next thing I want to do is get an angle that I like for seeing the whole stage for the people setting it up. And so I'm looking at these two poppers back there, and I'm going to find an angle that you can see them both from. Sometimes in the stage description, I'll post multiple angles so that you can see that one popper is supposed to be hidden. But usually the guys setting up the stage know that, like, okay, there's barrels over here for a reason. So you obviously want to be able to see one of those poppers from this angle and one from the end angle. So, but I do want you to at least see that there is a popper there, so I'll do this. And that looks like a pretty good, oops. There, you can see the other popper back there. Well, that's pretty good. You can see both poppers. Or like this. Try some different. That looks pretty good. Now I'm going to go ahead and, oops, not that. Now this is where I would take a screenshot. I don't know how you do that on a Windows computer, but on Mac it's Command Shift and the number 4, and then I go like so. And that made the click sound. It made our screenshot. And then I'm pretty much done with this. Go ahead and close SketchUp. All right, so now I've taken the screenshots that I took from SketchUp and I've put them into my word processor of choice. And this is pretty much the final stage. You're going to want to give your stage a name. I named it You Can Do It, which is after you viewing this video, because I think you can make a USPSA stage now. I got a course designer, rules. There's a little section here that says, you know, we use the USPSA handbook for the rules. You got a start position, we got a stage procedure, scoring, how many rounds, how many points, targets, 7 metric, 2 pepper poppers, 2 mini pepper poppers, scored hits, all this stuff that you normally see on a regular old stage description. So I mean, if you don't know how to do this little kind of template thing that I've made, I mean, you can pretty much just write that stuff on the paper somewhere with the picture, and then you've got a stage. You didn't see me put the X's on because I forgot to do that. So after I stopped the video, I went back and put these X's on this wall here for the start position. And then I took a couple extra angles here so that the people setting up, there's a second page that can see how the angle's supposed to be for, like this pepper popper here. You can see them through these barrels, and you can kind of see which targets you're supposed to see from which location. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Good to go after that. One thing I noticed after doing the video was that I should probably, these barrels here, I could just move those in front of this target a little bit more. That way, like from this angle, you don't have the opportunity to break the 180 on this target. I mean, I was just kind of trying to block it through here, but if I just put it closer to that thing, that would make more sense anyway. And the guy setting it up will probably notice that and just do it. So I don't really need to change that. But anyway, there you go. I hope this video was helpful for you.